Hey, Mary Wins and Chloe, how you doing? You're seeing my garden. Hello, this is the ocean of the ocean's deep woo, and here we do the deepest of woo, but also a lot of silly stuff. We try to look at it all with a good sense of humor, and we try not to get too serious. Um, I am now growing food out of my beta tanks. It's working. How this happened was I was looking for a nice aquatic plant for my fish because it actually helps clean the water for them to have a plant in with them. But just like we do in this society, for some ridiculous reason, we um, we tend to favor plants that are not edible and really aren't any good other than decorative. So it's kind of silly, and I realized that the plants I had before weren't really doing that good in there that were supposedly aquatic plants. Now, these tanks don't have bubblers going. I don't want to have to do all that. I want it to be more or less self sustaining, which is why I got beta fish who don't need oxygen. They come to the surface for oxygen, and pretty much in their home, they live in puddles. So they don't really need, they lived in were ice patties. So there you go. There is Phantom. There is Ghosty. There's the ladies. Say hi, ladies. And the newest guys, these two guys here. And what's in there is purslane. Find out makes an excellent water plant, and you can eat it, and so can they. If they do, it's not going to hurt them. And watercress seems to do fine. In fact, I noticed that some of the watercress I bought at the store was trying to root, so I put it in there, some of it in there, and I put the rest of it in the fridge, and the stuff that went in the fridge got all wilty right here, and the stuff that was out here with the fish was fine. So I don't know if this is going to perk up. Some of it might not, but I might just let some of this purslane go to root and eat purslane. Up here, I have a whole bunch of plants. Some back there, I have the tops that I cut off of, like right here. I cut the tops off of, let me see, that is two of them are beet plants, two of them are Japanese or Vietnamese or whatever those yams are, those really good yams. Anyway, yellow inside yams. And more purslane, a lot of purslane. Turns out purslane makes a great aquarium. A great plant to put in there with your fish. I don't think it makes a good aquatic. Actually, it doesn't grow underwater, but it grows with its roots down in the tank really, really well. And it has been growing now for over 2 weeks right in there with the fish. And purslane is one of the most nutritious foods. And Stephanie asked me to name a little plant after her and give it love. So this is little Stephanie right here. Say hello to Stephanie. Okay. She's growing pretty well. So yeah, my indoor garden is really starting to go. I was wondering how I always wanted to do some gardening, but I'm there like, can I really accomplish it in here? This is going to be rainbow carrots here. I'll have to separate them, of course, once they really get going. But as you can see, some of them do already have some growth on them. Hey, Witch Moon, how's life? And then here's a great big box of purslane. Purslane is a very versatile plant, and it seems to be taken to indoor gardening really well. It seems to be just fine, and that's great with me because I'm up for that. It's like it's very nutritious and it's tasty cooked or in your in your salad. So, and I guess in your smoothie it's good too. I haven't tried that. And then I've got some nice onions getting ready to grow here. These are going to be green onions, and this is going to be garlic. And that is my container gardening so far. So it's not a big operation, but you know what? It does, as you can see, these are growing nice and bushy. Um, the purslane grows really well and gives me enough to use anytime I want. So, I can always snip a little bit off of the purslane. I'm going to let it grow. I'm going to really ask Paul for some more because that's where I got it from. And it's funny how I intended that. I said, purslane sounds like something I really need to try. And because it has a lot of health benefits and it's very nutritious. And the funny thing about the watercress, I got a strange story about the watercress too. So, Witchy Moon, I don't know. Mary and Chloe were in here, I guess, for a minute, but I don't know where they are now. Hi, Phoenix. You're here, but extremely tired. Oh, I'm sorry, Phoenix. Um, well, anyway, I was just showing off my indoor garden so far. Lots of purslane. My other plants are coming up too. I'm even going to try and grow watermelon. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that, but I am going to try. So why not? And I love watermelon. But anyway, I got a funny story about uh um well, the purslane came from Paul's. And it's not really funny. I intended that I wanted to try purslane, couldn't find any around here. And then Paul mentioned that it was at his new place that he moved to. I said, "Oh wow, bring me some. I want to try it. Is it any good?" He says, "Oh yeah, we tried it. It's great. Really good, really tasty." Okay, okay, bring me some. Well, he brought me the whole thing with roots and everything. He didn't have time to, says here we have tons of it, brought me a whole bunch with the roots and everything. I thought, hey, if it's got roots and everything, I could like grow this. I could try growing this. And thereby I started growing purslane and it's growing really pretty. I mean, I'm going to grow it pretty much all over the house. So it's going to be my new favorite house plant. And I'm trying this watercress. And the funny thing is, that's another thing. I love watercress. And I happened to see it at the store. They had some fresh. And so my helper, Lana comes in, she sees it, she says, "Watercress, did you know?" See, I didn't know why I was buying it. She said, "Did you know that scientists say that this is the most nutritious, one of the most nutritious plants on earth?" I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's great because I just bought some and noticed that there's roots on it. So I'm going to grow it in with the fishies now. And it seems to be okay. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm now also growing. So I'm growing greens. It's not like anybody else is doing it, but hey, it's, so I kind of got a hydroponics thing going on here. but the fish like it. Fish really seem to like it, and when we change their water, we dump it on the plants because there isn't any chemicals in it. I just use pure water that I purified with my purifying pitcher. So there's no chemicals or anything in this water. And everybody is doing really, really good. Everybody's doing really good. So, I'm going to continue with this experiment and let you know what grew and what I was managing to grow because I know we don't get enough. We don't really get enough sun in the winter. We don't have a lot of good sun in the winter, um, here in Ohio, especially. But I do have a daylight light right up there is a daylight light. So it's the purple kind. You've seen me before with it. So basically, I've got a light that would be fine with it. Uh, you know, I could turn on to give them some daylight. And so this winter, I'm going to try. This is my this is my house plant and my garden plant. I'm going to try a garden, going to try an indoor garden. And I know it's a very odd way, and I'm sure I'm going to have to make all kinds of changes as you go along because the setup is kind of all jury rigged. Okay, so I'll show you some of the other parts of my place. There's my Tartarian lady statue and the white cat behind her. Looks like Maui looks now. White cat statue, can you really see it? I don't know. Yeah, I guess you can, maybe. I can't really tell. It's so small here. And some of my items here, my couch. I've got my mermaid thing going. Yeah, with the blue and the kitty cats. And that one kind of looks like Maui when she was alive. Anyway, so you can use LED lights. Well, cool. That's another thing I'm trying, and I'm getting ready to put them up. I have solar lights I'm going to try. I've got them already in the window here. The LED panel is in the window. Hang on. I mean, not the LED panel, the solar panel. I got them off of Temu, of course. Pretty cheap. And they have and you can get different patterns. So I'm going to put this in the windowsill. I think what I'm going to do is use clear tape and tape it right in the window there so that if I open the window, it'll rise and fall with the window. But it's pretty lightweight. I think I can just tape it to the window, clean the window off really good. Tape it to the window and let it charge. Because this that Jason got me last year, this was great actually when we had the blackout. This is actually a really fine flashlight. So I think I'll be able to just have lights all around, even if the power goes out, which who knows, it might. We're getting into very strange times, folks. I'm going to talk about that soon. And that's another thing I hope to talk about tonight is what I'm kind of seeing, but nothing to really worry about, just stuff you got to, I think we need to be aware that could be going on. That sounds like it's going to be happening. Just stuff to be ready for when it comes. Because it looks like leading up to the election, we're going to have to put up with nonsense for a while. I hate to tell you. Oh, they just love these. By the way, they love to hide in the plants, and if they also nibble on them, it isn't going to hurt because none of them are poison. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to turn off the camera for a minute because I'm going to walk through the place, and I don't want you to see the messy areas because a few areas here messy. Meow. Oh, by the way, Cowboy says hi. You telling them hello, my little boy? Little sweet boy is going to come in with us. He's got to stop for food, though. Right? Got to stop for food. Okay. Sweet little guy. Okay. Let's see. And there is my, this is with, of course, wow, it really looks good on the camera. Really glows like heaven, like anything on the camera. It's my new tapestry. It's a forest. So, okay, let me get the camera turned around here and installed. So anyway, there's my light. We'll get it turned around here. Hmm. I'm going to let's see if it's working right. Oh, come on now. Oh, there I am. Get up. Come on up, baby. Okay, there's my little cowboy. He's up here now. The room is complete. We now have a little cowboy up here. And my glowing portal. Doesn't it look kind of like let me see if I can hang on. I know what to do. Hang on. I got to remount this thing. So hi, let's see who all's here so far. We had Mary Winds, Chloe, Witch Moon, Phoenix Rises, Pam I am Pam, and Lady Spellbreaker so far. And of course there's Mr. Wonderful Cowboy who is, pose for your adoring fans. Okay, he's even got a speaking part. Now he's going to want extra treats for having a speaking part, not just a cameo. So, yeah, it's nice. My place is really coming along. I feel like I'm home here. I feel like I'm actually home. Um, you know, pretty well. Oh, it's gonna get crazy this election period. They're gonna go nutsy poo poo cuckoo goo goo gaga. Mhm. I'm gonna put on the I'm gonna put on the intro and let people find out we're on and be right back, okay? And I'm also gonna put the link out. If somebody wants to join, you come right on in here. Let me do that first. Let me just get that out of the way. Okay. Ooh, okay, there's the StreamYard link. Yeah, I have, you know what? I have to tell you a story of how really freaking nice. I mean, oh, there, now you can really kind of see the portal. There's a portal behind me opening. In the forest, but that's what it looks like. Oh, see, now he's happy. Mom is right where she belongs, sitting here petting the cat, which is, he thinks, supposed to be the way it is all the time. Start your new job, 9 to 11. Oh, you've been manifesting big stuff. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. That's wonderful, Lady Spellbreaker. So, anyway, there's the link. Hi, Project. I'm putting on the intro for a minute and I'll be right back. You off to bed early? Well, maybe I will be too then. If you're all going to be like that, we'll see. If I'm going to be here that late, I don't know. I'm going with the flow right now. Um, we're going to be we're going to have to be careful. Not that their reality has to be our reality. This is one thing I want to stress. Everybody else's reality doesn't have to be ours. I mean, all these other people, they're having one reality. We can have another reality. Okay, we can have a different version of what's going to happen, but we're still going to have to be a little bit careful because they're still going to try shenanigans. And obvious. I mean, we knew this was going to be a rocky road. Okay, I'll tell you what I am getting. Okay, and what I've been getting from my guides and so on. When I get back, let me put on the intro. No, didn't quite get back yet here. Watch Cowboy for a minute. Ah, change the lighting. think I'll have it. Here we go. We'll have some daylight lighting instead now. Grow light. Has he been entertaining you, Mr. Wonderful? Okay. My sweet little cowboy. Oh, I'm so tired here. I was so tired for a few days. I'm actually good. Um, right now. And you've got the link if you want to come in and join me for whatever time. I don't know. Let's see how it looks without the overhead light. It still look kind of cool in here. Ooh, I turned purple. Okay, I guess I'll do the rest of the show purple, and it still kind of glows. Back there, I still have a portal over my shoulder. So, one of the things I'm really happy about, my new place really is. I guess it's because of Venus retrograde, but I just have had such an urge to decorate lately. I don't know what happened, just feeling the need to decorate. And now I've found some tapestries that remind me of where I grew up, the woods that I used to play in as a kid. And so I go to sleep in the forest now. I have the trees around me. Now, of course, they're not real, but, I kind of have that vision before I go to sleep. Oh, dear. See, I'm kind of tired too, but that's okay. I can stay up a little ways. I don't have to do anything too important tomorrow, except make a lot of phone calls. But are you taking off, Phoenix? Oh, okay. You have a good night then. Have some good dreams. Yeah. Hope things go well for you. Um, and Lady Spellbreaker starts a new life, another phase of life. I'm so glad that that's working out for you. Hope that job is wonderful for you. Which moon did you get that rain? Did that work out? Or do we need to adjust something for you? I need to know. Hi, Max Vision. How you doing? Yeah, it's good to see you. I'm sorry I got in a little late at your show earlier today. I was watching for it and then I got busy doing stuff around the place. I've had more energy just the last couple of days. So I've been trying to get some stuff done while I have it because I never know if that's going to stay because with fibro you can never be 100% sure what's going to happen with you next, whether it's going to stay. I am generally though, I think I'm on to something. I seem to be getting generally better um, from the stuff that I'm doing. I'll go into it a little bit. Of course, I'm eating some very good food. Like I said, I now have purslane growing in there, and looks like I'm going to be able to have watercress. Looks like my fishies are going to grow me watercress. And we're going to see how that goes with the other food. Beautiful beets have beautiful greens, and they're also edible too. So if I can get the beets really going, and then the yams, I don't know. I don't think you can eat the yam tops, but they are a beautiful plant. Hopefully, they will grow yams. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but it's one of the things I'm working on. Chloe, that's okay. We saw you earlier. Yeah. Hope I hope everybody is doing well too. I have been seeing heartbreaking stuff from Maui, from Lahaina. Uh but there were people who rose to the occasion and were very heroic. And I'm not meaning to get too political, but it seems like when you're dealing with these issues on this kind of a show, it's hard to not get political sometimes when you're dealing with human issues. They've made, I hated election season my whole life. I always hated it. Everybody trying to convince you of all kinds of bullshit, right? And just I hated it. Um, all kinds of bullshit happening. But now they've taken and made, ever since Hilly started election denying with Donnie's election, they've made it an all year thing. And now it's gone into every freaking day is election season now. I swear. That's what it's like. Drives me right up the wall sometimes. But I've learned to weather it. I've learned to look at it like it's some kind of a game. Um, you know what, Pam? For the most part, I am too. You haven't seen me around hardly anywhere because I haven't been around hardly anywhere. I go and see my friends. I go to my friend shows. And that's about it. Sometimes a lot of times I play stuff in the background. I play certain things like, I'll watch the Y files in the background if it's something interesting, or I do my frequency videos, or watch one of my friends, but I'm not really. A lot of the shows I used to go to, I don't go to too much. When I remember to do it, I try to get to Portal now and then. I might once in a while I might still visit SOR, at some point, but they go on so late every single night. So I don't want to be a night owl forever. Oh, it's been a year. So you passed the first year death anniversary. I seem to be fine with one. I'm probably going to stick to 1 or 2 days a week and see how my energy is. But I have to say it's getting better. Right now, it seems to be getting better. I have been getting lots of messages like, "Don't be afraid. It's it looks very bad, but remember, the worse it looks for the world, the better it's actually going to be when it shakes out. And what we're seeing doesn't have to be for us. We won't have to necessarily live through what some people are going to live through." And I hate to say this because Hawaii is a beautiful place, but it's also a deep blue state, which means they probably voted for who's in office. And I really hate to say this, but I'm not saying that they needed that or anything, or that I would ever want that to happen, but they probably mostly voted for the guy that's in office. And here is what happens. And the response was horrible. Once again, don't expect the government to save you. It was the citizens that saved each other. It was each other. It was the people who were neighbors and friends and loved ones. They saved each other. People who got saved either saved themselves or got saved by other residents who went into superhero mode and decided to use what resources they had to save their fellow citizens in their community. There were many stunning displays of heroism. And now they know what it'd be like at the end of the world, right? If things go really south, that's what it's like. But there are so many things about it that they are, I'm pretty sure Hawaii is going to be all awake now pretty soon, because it's pretty obvious that something shady went on there. You cannot, you can't deny that something shady was going on there. Yeah. Yeah, and I think probably I know I'm still here because I'm needed here for various things, I guess, and as long as that's happening, I guess I'll be here. And I've been told though that I'm going to be just fine, not to be afraid, not to be worried. We don't have to be part of the madness. Um, if you stay positive, know that you're going to be protected and manufacture that. Remember, you're creators, you're divine creators. You're going to be okay. You don't have to be a part of all this, the madness that we're seeing in the world. But unfortunately, there are people who need to be awake and they're not waking up. But if they don't wake up after that, I don't know. I think Maui is going to be awake after that. I think really Hawaii is waking up, unfortunately, in the worst possible way. I mean, there's just so many things wrong with what went on there. First, they wouldn't let people out of town. They blocked the streets. They turned off the water. They turned off the electric. They It's crazy. It's like they just basically, I'm telling you, it was a sacrifice. They were trying to sacrifice all those people. Some of them got out. The ones that got out were the ones that weren't paying attention to orders, that defied orders. They were actually herding people back towards the center of the blaze. Unknown whether the police knew they were doing that. They might have been following orders. We know certain things like the there are like 17 busloads of children just missing. They can't find the bus carcasses or anything. We know that now people are becoming aware that there is an underground area to Hawaii, like there are a lot of places. You know, yeah, just this is just to be aware. This is not to scare anybody, but this is the way that the world wakes up. Unfortunately, some people are going to be leaving, and that may be what it takes for some people to wake up. Yeah, part of the population agenda. I'm sure it's part of that too, Chloe. Mary wins. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing? Yeah, Chloe. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's part of the population thing. And the more people they sacrifice to whoever they're worshiping, But I think it's really also a cover for um, the black market, slave trade. A lot of people are alluding to that, and I think that's probably true. Because there are many, many people, and they are not admitting to this, but there are literally thousands and thousands of people missing. And just missing. They didn't find the bodies. They didn't find the cars. They didn't find anything of some people. They don't know what happened to them. This kind of a disaster is the kind of disaster that to cover your tracks. We do know that millionaires were investing in the area because there's a profit. Of course, look for the profit. Eventually, it will probably come out that these people were involved in some kind of racket because Oprah hired extra firefighters for her place before the blaze started. She just decided out of the blue, just by chance, that she was going to hire extra firemen to patrol her place just in case. No reason, just because, she had the extra money to spend. And why not just have that, spend it on that. And then the blaze started. Very odd that everybody was painting their stuff blue. Very odd that a lot of the blue stuff didn't burn. That they have found blue houses, blue this, blue that, blue cars that did not burn. We're still trying to figure that one out. I don't know if there's if they can be that, but obviously something is going on with that. We don't know what. Um, some stuff burned, some stuff didn't burn. What's up with that, right? So we know that it's hinky. And then now, yeah, we've got earthquake in Morocco. Did you know? Oh yeah, children missing. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's right in your face. Something they're doing. And yeah, they do these disasters and then there's a bunch of missing children, sure. Right. You know what? Same, Lady Spellbreaker. You know, if I had a missing child, well, the people are trying to find out, but the mayor won't tell them. They keep pressing the mayor. He won't say how many children are missing. You know why? Because he's in on it. That's why the water was turned off. That's why the roads were blocked. That's why the electric was turned off. That's why people were disabled at every turn and trapped as much as they could be. That's why the only people that managed to survive was the ones that disobeyed. Is because that guy right there has the blood of a lot of people on his hands. I would hate to be him when it all shakes out. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. There is no way that he's not complicit in something. Whatever was going down, he's the mayor. He's the guy that was pulling strings. He's the guy that needs. He's going to be one of the guys that goes down. But I'm thinking they're going to find out these millionaires. The island people don't want anybody asking about the children. Yeah, that is shocking. Yeah, I think it was all planned out. Yeah, yeah, some 2,000 at least missing in Hawaii. The island people don't want people asking about the children. All right, anybody got any ideas why that would be? What's going on with that? Come on, I understand if you're hurt, but when you want to know what happened, I mean, it hurts, but wouldn't you want some kind of closure? Yeah, I'd be screaming, bloody murder. Where in the hell is my kid? How many kids are missing? Why are they missing? Why aren't the buses visible? Why are the buses gone? They found plenty of carcasses, cars, and buses. Why did they not find a whole bunch of them? Why are they just missing? Something, it's horrible. Yeah, this is just so wrong. Yeah, yeah. Somebody got paid off. And oh, and by the way, does anybody want to come in? Shall I throw the link again? Here, I'll put it out there. I don't know how to pin it. I'm sorry. I'm really not that. I'll figure it out eventually, probably. Like I eventually figure out everything, but yeah, underground or shipped off. That's what I'm thinking. Right. You know what? And what I am led to is very enlightening. You know, what I am led to see, because I'm not watching that much. I'm thinking, yeah, well, underground or shipped off to their new owners, whatever that is. I have not trusted Oprah for a long time. I don't know that she's even the same Oprah we once knew a long, long time ago. Could just be the Oprah brand. Could be that is somebody else. I gotta tell you, there's something else I've noticed too. The crime boss that we have running things, he isn't even really the running thing. He really isn't the crime boss exactly. We know that that's Mr. Obama and his and Big Mike. Um, by the way, nobody's ever found a pregnant photo of Big Mike. Probably because there is none. Probably because Big Mike was never pregnant. Because Big Mike is not a not a woman. Was never really a woman. But yeah, nobody. People have started to really look into it. There are no pregnant photos of Michelle. Where did the kids come from? Not Michelle, though. There's another one. And what? They held the highest office in the land. I recommend you get some kind of water purification once again. Get yourself water purification system. Have a little spare food just in case the supply lines get sketchy. Um, oh, I know she does Project Skyfalls. I saw that where she was dancing around, and it's quite obvious that there's a weenus between us or something. Yeah. Definitely she does. There's somebody they mentioned who is actually pulling the strings on Bummer. Uh, but I forgot who they said. It was somebody, another rich elite bullshit person. A female though. But oh yeah, getting Air Force One. There's one where she's getting into a limo and surrounded by these actually pretty good looking Secret Service men. And I think she thought they were good looking too because she sure was excited about it. Very obviously. Oh, you are? Indeed, you are, dear. Okay. There you go.
Hello, hello.
Come on in. Anybody else want to come on in?
I can't stay real long, but I was gonna pop up here
For
for a
some reason, I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Wait, let me see if I can try again, hon.
Can you hear me now?
No,
Uh-oh.
that's odd. I can barely hear you.
Is your volume turned up?
Can everybody else hear her? Can you get a little close to your mic? I was having trouble earlier
Hearing
too at Max's place.
You just can't hear me?
Can everybody else hear? Okay, well, I'm just going to have to lean in then. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Something might be going on with your speaker.
I just got a new phone.
Oh,
I'm
man.
turning it up. Well, doggone, this is annoying as heck. But I can barely hear you. Oh well, we'll try and deal with it anyway. I've had all kinds of things happening to my from it being, scratchy and robotic sounding. When I go on somebody else's show, I get echoes. Even though I have everything turned off, I try and go in and turn off everything. On my phone, I'm not on anything else.
Right.
It's just been heck of a time.
It's
But
also planets in retrograde still, so.
right, we do have Mercury in retrograde.
And Venus did switch back to.
Venus too is still in retrograde. Yeah,
No, Venus
she's
went.
going to be in retrograde till when, hon?
No, Venus is direct now.
She goes direct when?
Venus went direct on September the 3rd.
Okay, Venus went direct.
Yes.
So we got Venus. She's gonna be going back over everything.
Yeah, and Jupiter's retrograde the same day. Yeah, it is. Chloe, Uranus rules electronics. Okay, so Uranus is in retrograde.
For once, I'm not taking as many naps now as I was for a while. For a while, I was taking naps all the freaking. I had to take naps all the time. Not as much for the last few days.
That's good.
So fortunately, whatever's going on with that, I have to be really thankful. I as you know, I'm a person of well, I'm rich. I tell you, I'm independently wealthy. Most of you know I'm independently wealthy. But I realized how there's been a lot of synchronicity And actually, I'm very abundant. I have enough of everything. In fact, purslane, I'm growing it. I feel like I want to just put it everywhere.
Yeah.
I just want to grow it all over the house.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
I'm wondering, does anybody know, is there like a deeper meaning to purslane? I'm thinking as I'm sitting here, oh yeah, both Uranus and Mercury are in retrograde. I'm like, oh, this is fun. So yeah, oh, that's right. And supposedly the Lahaina thing was an electrical issue. That
What day did that even
that
happen?
was probably the depression I had for a while there. I was feeling for a while there too. Because I remember while that was happening, it was very hard for me to get myself happy. Uh, and I had to do a whole bunch of stuff to get myself happy again. So, but I'm very abundant. Uh, yeah, doing affirmations to get there. Yeah. Does
Did that
retrograde? Yeah, it can
did
make
that
you
fire
tired.
on
Mhm.
August 8th? 8/8. Is that when the fires happened?
I so cannot hear you, Lady Spellbreaker. Wish I could hear.
Did that fire happen on August 8th?
That's a little better.
Did you hear me?
Barely. But
Did
it's
that
okay because I
I
can.
fell because of my
I
mom?
guess I'll hear it later. Wait a minute. I have an idea. I may have a way to solve it. Hang on. If the rest of you hearing are okay and it's just me, I'm going to put it on. I'll
Speaker.
tell you what I'm going to do. I've got another phone here. Thank you. So I'm going to put it on very, very low. And maybe I can hear you on my other phone and put it like behind me so I can still, so you're not getting the feedback from it. Okay, now let's say something. So you're not getting the okay feedback from it.
You have a headphone?
Say something. Okay, now let's say something. You're not getting the
It's gonna be slow.
okay feedback from it. You have a headphone. Say something. Doggone it! I no, that isn't going to work. It's going to be slow. Feedback from it. You have a headphone. I do somewhere, but I don't have anywhere to plug it in on this phone.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe I do. Oh, yes, I do. On this one, I do. This is the weirdest thing. Have you guys experienced this? My new phone doesn't have anywhere to plug in a set of headphones.
Delay.
I
Is that
guess it has to be Bluetooth. Wait a minute.
oh she
Let
can't
me plug in and see if I can do it this way. Maybe this will work. I can plug into to this phone, but not the other one. Okay, but hearing myself. Okay, now Spellbreaker, say some. Come on, Heather, say something.
Okay, it's gonna have a delay, so you're gonna have to wait a second to hear me.
I
Because
still can't hear you. This is crazy.
no, it's gonna come. You'll be able to hear me as long as your volume's turned up. It just takes a second.
Okay. Okay, I got the volume turned up. Okay. Now I'm having to listen on another phone. But I'm going to hear myself repeating what I'm saying. So it's going to be a little annoying, but I'll deal with it. Just so I can hear what you're saying, dear.
Okay.
Anyway, So they seem to want to just annoy the heck out of me. But anyway. Okay. So what do you got to say about it? I know that you got an opinion.
I think I honestly came up here to talk about this because I actually have those two videos unlisted now that I went live on 9/8, which is actually the Feast of Mother Mary. It's Mother Mary's Day that they worship Mother Mary on September the 8th. And I went live that day, like the day before my daughter's 3-year ascension date. And I am just floored about what the hell's going on in Maui and all this not talking about it. I literally just was called to go watch Milky Way Soul Tribe's video about the woman was looking for some assistance for they want lawyers because they can't go back to their land and they don't know what's going on. And she literally said that that person, they said if somebody asks them in person what happened to the children, they're going to punch them in the face. And the way this is all happening is so fucking mind blowing to me that I can't believe people are more worried about certain other things than where are the children. Because my daughter did go missing once at an event, at a 4th of July expedition. There was like a concert, there was a band playing, there was fireworks. And when I was frantic, going crazy, looking, don't know where to look for my child. And the police just wanted me to go relax and watch the fireworks. There is no way I could have just relaxed and watched fireworks when your child is missing. And I totally understand that everybody on that island is in shock. I get it. I almost died in a fire in 2019. I was trapped in the basement. I can only imagine what those people are going through right now. We lost almost everything in our whole house and I was completely traumatized. So I understand people are in shock. That's the first stage of grief. I get it. But like the fact that they don't want to talk about the children and they're more concerned about the land and lawyers and things, like maybe the lawyer is part for the children. I don't know. None of it makes any sense to me. And with my cousin who's been missing for 11 years, I've taken a special interest in trafficking and all of this bullshit going on. And when we were talking about the children, we don't play around. And my daughter was also fentanyl poisoned. She left this world from fentanyl poisoning. With the humans, they're also smuggling drugs. Period. They go hand in hand. They drug them and they steal them. And these disasters are like, yeah, I know, Chloe. It's mind blowing what's going on. It's just mind blowing to me. And I have a feeling it's going to keep getting nastier. I know we don't have to participate in it. And we can keep on.
I can't hardly. I can't hardly imagine what it would be like to uh, to sit there and realize that your whole world is gone. Everywhere that you had a life was gone. Everywhere that you had where you went to school, where you went to work, where your children played, where you shopped, everything's gone from that area. And I know this happens from time to time. I'm looking at the area and I'm just seeing it being so it's so blank and barren, but just full of like it's like looking over there it's a graveyard. I'm thinking they must be dealing with a very heavy load of souls passing through there. Probably that was the first week or so when we sent the portals to help everybody cross. Um, then there's something else. I want to hear what you have to say about this. I have another issue to bring up. I'm taking out my headphones so I don't echo in my own ears. I'm going
Okay.
to put them back in now to listen to you.
Okay. I'm in agreement with you, and so it's crossing over because even just in Morocco, that earthquake, that 6.8 that just hit Morocco on the edge of Africa, over 2,000 people they've just found. And if you've ever looked at those cities, those ancient cities, it's Marrakesh that's where's over by Morocco right now. Those cities were not built to withstand a 7 magnitude earthquake. It was 6.8, which is what it was marked at. Who's to say if that's really true? But they weren't built to withstand that. They are not stable buildings. And then who's to say how many children are missing from there too? It's just, I've literally been crying so much lately. I actually took my videos down because I actually said a lot of things.
I'm sure.
I took my videos down from the other night that I was live. They're unlisted right now. I mean, they're still there, but they're not deleted. But it's, I'm almost disgusted, and I've been crying so much because I think my daughter is leading me to see the things I need to see, not what I want to see. It's not always about what we want to see when we listen to spiritual guidance. Yeah, I know, Chloe. And okay, oh my God, we have two
So
eclipses.
true. I also have to bring up, I don't know if you guys realize this yet or if you've heard about it yet, but we are blessed right now to be in a reality where we did not wake up in World War III because it came very, very close. And it was right, I think it was either on the 8th or 9th, Heather. So you'll find this very interesting. They were going to try and make the first shot over the bow. That wasn't really over the bow. It was over in somewhere in like Crimea, right? They wanted to use the Starlink, the Q-Link, Starlink satellites, Elon's satellites over Crimea. And he wouldn't turn them on. They were going to literally start a hot war with Russia. Really. I heard about this. I'm like, what? And I don't have all of the facts yet. I haven't done the research. All I know is that we came damn close. But you know what? He wouldn't turn on the set. He wouldn't play ball with them. He does not want to go down. I mean, this guy is smart enough to not want to go down in history as one of the guys who facilitated World War III. Okay. But we were just that close. If he would have let them, if he would have just fallen over and let them and cooperated, we'd be in freaking World War III right now.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I mean, this is crazy. Don't put it past them. They're going to try and start World War III. And it's been predicted by some people, if they do manage to get by with this shit, they're going to find out that Russia already has some kind of a treaty with these non-human intelligences, and that they will come to Russia's aid. So if we screw up on this end and it goes through, now I don't think it's going to be allowed to go through. Um, I don't think they're going to allow this to happen. So, just wondering what your thoughts are. Has anybody heard anything about this? And I'm going to put my headphones back in so I can listen to what you think.
I haven't heard anything about it. Like, I honestly am led by my spirit. I have been protecting myself. I keep an eye on the weather. I keep an eye on the volcanoes and the earthquakes and the weather. I cannot get pulled into it.
Well, me too.
I actually, for the first time in my life, registered to vote because I think all hell is going to go crazy. Like, over here, I got the compulsion to vote this next time, and I have never in my life voted. I just went and got a job so I can get out of my house and not have to think about this shit all the time and get some real money. I've got my driver's license coming. I honestly told Hurricane Lee maybe he should go to Washington, D.C. on my video the other day. Um, I said, "Oh, did I say that out loud?" Like, I said, just take out the fucking White House. I'm over all of this. Like, I think there needs to be some real rude awakenings for a whole lot of stuff. For especially the elites. Like that last hurricane took a tree that landed on Italia, on the mayor of governor's mansion, Florida, the governor's mansion. I don't know. I've been getting signs that World War III was going to come like since 2019. I'm not even joking. And now that I've seen one,
Yeah, I agree. It needs to fall on Washington.
yeah, take that motherfucking hurricane straight to Washington, D.C. and wipe their ass out. Flood all the tunnels, is what I keep saying. Here's what I think's happening: the coastlines and the waterways. If you are there, if you want to make it through this, if you're not afraid to die, just
Mhm.
stay where you are. If not, get the
We
fuck,
might be able to actually flood the tunnels.
yeah, flood the tunnels. What they're doing is water. It makes landfalls. If you look at anything on the God bless it, weather app channel, you get water, it'll make natural erosion. Okay, so heavy water and then
You mean
earthquake
sinkholes?
blasts will make the land shake and fall.
Sinkholes.
Yes, sinkholes, landslides, and the landslide brought me down. And it's gonna take. I'm about blowing shit up these days. Blow the fucking tunnels up. I have no mercy for any of this stuff anymore. Or
Landslide
I
brought
have
it down.
none. They're gonna. We set those kids alone.
Well,
Yeah,
well, I think the reason they're
go ahead.
I think the reason they're not is because there's still people down there. There's still victims down there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've got down in my
So
down.
basically, we're dealing with a problem with There, and that's probably part of the shielding.
I've got 2 military magazines that talk about underground fighting. I got 2. I rescued them out of the trash can. That's how.
Yeah, they're trying to make it so that, gosh, this is so hard. This is so hard. They're trying to make it so that they can't be touched because we don't want to kill off everybody that they've taken. What? Did you say something?
No.
I'm hearing whispers. What the heck is going on? Are you whispering?
No. Maybe something's coming through. Listen to it.
I'm hearing whispering in my head. In something's wrong.
Something's coming through.
It was there for a while. Now it's gone. Yes. Well, I've been getting that. I've been getting that we have that I'm safe where I am. Um, I don't have any way to travel anywhere right now. I think I'm going to be okay where I am. They're reassuring me, they've been reassuring me that we don't have to be involved in this. We have to pay attention to our guidance. We have to leave though if we get a symbol to, we get the signal to leave, the bat signal, you better leave though. I mean, but they also know that there's no way that I have a way to really be leaving here. I don't have a car or anything. I would have to, hitch a ride with somebody, um, but they're telling me I'm going to be okay. They're also saying that they're very pleased with the way that I've been handling things, trying to, and actually with all of us who have done our hero work, trying to mitigate all of this suffering that's going on in the world. And I was gifted with some abundance of food recently. And I mean, there's a place here called Duma Meats that has the clean, the pastured meat and everything. I got gifted pork chops and chicken legs from there. Um, and it seemed like everything that was in there was just synchronously stuff that, some of my very favorite stuff, and then a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to use, and I donated to other people. But I'm hearing that they're very pleased with the way that we're responding. We're doing what we can do, doing whatever we can do in our own superhero way. And you're all superheroes who are working on this, who are working on sending rain to the areas that need it, who are trying to help out other people and sharing what you've got with people who are having a hard time. Um, they're very pleased with us. And it's not going to be the end. It's going to look like the end. It's going to be only the end of the dumb shit. Okay. It's going to be the end of the horrors. It's finally coming to an end, but it's going to look worse before it looks better. But even as bad as it looks, and it looks pretty dark right now, that means it's actually it's on the way to getting better. It's going to get really bad. I think they are going to do their darn best to start a World War III. It may even look like a bomb's going to drop. Hopefully that doesn't actually happen anywhere, but it may look pretty dark, pretty scary. But stay positive and realize that those of us who are awake are having to hold the line for the people who are not yet, who are waking up. And they're starting to become awake, but they don't have any way to fight back yet. They don't know they can fight back yet. They don't know how to do what we know how to do. So just know that what you're doing is important. Everything that you mitigate, everything you do, every superhero thing you do, you're to be commended for, because there are people who are not doing that kind of thing. And now I'm going to sit back and listen to what you have to say.
I think you're absolutely right. I even just typed it. I think it. Honestly, I wouldn't even retract what I even just said. I don't think we need to live in fear. If you live on the coast, the thing is, those people that are meant to make it, and I don't technically like to use the word chosen ones, because I think some people are taking it to their fucking head and being like, oh, if you're a real chosen one, that makes you feel like your ego. To me, it looks like those people's egos are real big. The people who think they're so much more chosen than everybody else. Um, I think that some of us are divinely protected, especially if we were sex abuse survivors, if we did the work, if we are heavily for one, those of us who know how to survive are going to make it no matter what, because we've already been born survivors. We've already been through the pits of hell, walking through hell our whole lives. We can survive on little. If anybody's ever been on the streets, you know how to survive. Like, I'll tell you what, the homeless people are not running around like everybody else are. During COVID, they were running around with no masks on, shaking hands, exchanging dollars, sharing cigarettes, and drinking out of the same alcohol bottles all day and all night. And they're still walking around alive today. They do not live in fear. They are not afraid to die. So the big thing is, we know we don't die. With that knowledge alone, that makes us so powerful. And the thing is, these elites, these people that know about all these government secrets and things, they know we don't die. They have no shame or mercy taking people out, because they know we don't die. They know our spirits actually don't die. So, like, we are in the middle of a psychological war. We are in the middle of a chemical war, and we are in the middle of a spiritual war. Bombs or no bombs, they are taking people out with fentanyl. They are taking people out with other things. And they have no remorse about anything what they're doing whatsoever. They don't need to drop bombs. People are dying left and right from the freaking preservatives in food, and their health is failing. People are dying from cancer.
Well, GMO food.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I know, Mary. I know my mom's got diabetes. I know it.
And you know what? And it's interesting that the food that I was given was all, most of it. I mean, I gave away the stuff that wasn't, but a lot of it was like organic, pastured, amazing stuff. Organic black tea, just all kinds of things that I would pick. I was amazed. I'm like, wow. And a watermelon. I love watermelon. And I'm like, and what I got was, this is to remind you, we're watching over you. You're going to be taken care of. You're going to have what you need. Don't worry. You're not going to be left, you're not going to be on the list of people, you're not on that list. You're on the list of people that's going to be taken care of. And a lot of it is the attitude. A lot of it is the energy. So by all means, keep your energy up, keep your vibe up. Do not let anybody drop it for you. Don't, even if you're listening to something negative, remember, it's send your love to it. Send your energy, to we can decide right now it's going to be a mild winter. Nobody's going to suffer this winter. We can say that. We can say, you know what? We need it to be a nice, mild winter so that people are not frightened
Mm-hmm.
and in fear, so that people are not suffering, because there are going to be people that otherwise are going to be suffering. So let's just do it right now, because who was it? Project Skyfall saying you needed to be mild. We could all use it to be a mild winter so that people aren't frightened.
Yes.
We can ask for that. So let's just do it right now and just decide, take a break just now to say it's going to be a decent winter, no terrible storms, nothing too destructive, not too terribly cold, not not too cold, not crazy in any way, but just their weather machines are just not going to work the way that they want them to, and we're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow the weather machines that manipulated by negative people to work the way they want it to. We're not going to allow it. Okay? And we're going to have to maybe do that more than once. We're maybe going to have to keep that, whenever we hear something coming up, we're going to have to keep it in our mind so we can do something about it. We're not helpless. Just remember that. We're not helpless. Okay. And you're right, it's not our place to wake people up. They're going to have to choose for themselves. All we can do is just do what we can do. Hold the line, do our jobs that we've been given, use our skills that we've been given, and be reasonable people, be reasonable, loving people. And I think Washington will be soon, very soon. What I see is they eat themselves. Washington's going to eat itself. I mean, I keep seeing they're going to turn on each other like, drowning rats, because it's going to come down. It's about to come down. And the reason they're so desperate is because, and they're so afraid, is if T wins, they're all toast, because it's all going to come down. Now, I'm not, if I think he is, I keep getting that he is going to win, that T is going to win. It could be that we need that kind of a person for a little while. Although I can't go with his policies on the ecology, I cannot go with that. But maybe we need a person like that for a little while, to straighten things out. I don't know. I don't trust Vivek. I don't entirely trust him. He's campaigning like a T light. He's basically using Trump's platform, but he's campaigning like I'm Trump, but without all of the baggage. And I'm so nice, and he smiles at people while he's sticking a knife in him, and well, they need to be stuck a knife in, but I don't entirely trust Vivek. Uh, and then there's Robert Kennedy. The Democrats are already trying to discredit Robert Kennedy in any way that they can, because he's actually a reasonable fellow.
I've
So
been
I'm like, okay, folks, wake up and see what's going on. But it's not my job. I don't try to talk anybody into anything anymore. I just tell them what I think. And if they resist that, it's like, okay, you can resist that. But someday you remember what I told you. Okay, now I'm going to listen again.
I'm in full agreement that a lot of this is I have a bad feeling some big things are going down, just like you said. They're gonna end up taking each other out, because that's their MO. They're actually destroying each other, and are even like, you know, I'm really against all those jabs and shots. So I actually saw Robert F. Kennedy, and I am not a political watcher at all. I cannot stand any of these people, and I don't trust any of them. And I've been going through ups and downs lately. Um, Struggling with depression, sleeping a lot, crying a lot. to hard rock and just getting my real feelings out. I'm not gonna wash it all over with spiritual bypassing and toxic positivity. And then I'll go and turn on some reggae a couple days later. The trick is I got to get it out of my system and not stuff it all down and avoid it. But I have a feeling they're going to be taking each other out. I've been keeping a close eye on the hurricanes and the borders and what's going on, like with as far as
100%.
what what's going on with trafficking and at the borders and things. Like I even saw that in the show Weeds. They were trafficking people from San Diego to
Oh, people are going to take themselves out. They're going to take each other out.
yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Yes, absolutely. You gotta cry, let it out, get it all out there. You got it right, Chloe. I saw that on the movie Weeds. The
Mhm.
Weeds that was on.
Oh yeah, and the
She's probably delayed a second
mhm.
with hearing what I'm saying. But on Weeds, they were trafficking a little girl, and Nancy, which was Mary Louise Parker in the show, she was like, "Oh no, you're not doing that in my store." And they were doing it right through the mall from San Diego to Tajaras, New Mexico, and or to Tajaras, Mexico, not New Mexico. So I've been watching like these hurricanes are going up further because the water is much warmer because of global cooling. And so the hurricanes are going further north and they're getting all this rain in California and heavy rains in places where they're not used to getting rain. And that causes great problems. You got landslides falling into the ocean on the all over the roads. And it's there. This needs to happen. I'm sorry, but there are fucking tunnels. They are smuggling drugs and people and children, and it needs to stop. And I've already called upon my angels, and I've already been asking my angels to tell me the truth. And I'm just ready. Bring it on, is all I got to say. Let them destroy each other. I'm not going to partake in all of it. Yeah, it is done, Chloe. It's one and done, sweetie. One and done. You know, my daughter was cremated on 9/11 of 2020. My daughter, Kayla, was cremated on 9/11 of 2020. And in 2019, I got my disability check that year. And it was for $911.03. But they rounded to the nearest dollar. I got the message in 2019, right before all of this COVID broke out, that it was a fucking emergency. Yeah, they are. And so when people are all like, "Oh, you got to be all love and light," it's not all love and light. I got a baseball bat behind my door and I named it Fuck Around and Find Out. So I'm not going to be all happy, positive, love and light. If somebody comes busting in, you might get a baseball bat upside your dome. I'm not Miss Friendly. I was a little too sweet for way too long and it got me in a lot of trouble. And it got me used and abused and taken advantage of. So I got the message loud and clear because I get a notice. Anybody that's on disability, you get a notice in December of what your check is going to be for January for the year of the next year. So in December of 2019, it told me my check was going to be $911. And I literally took a picture of it and sent it to quite a few people and said, "Can you fucking believe this? My disability check is 911." And then COVID broke out in what, March? My daughter was deathly ill in February, and then she crossed over on 9/9 of 2020 and was cremated in 9/11. And you know, I even got a message from somebody that's from my daughter that said I had big works that I was going to need to do. And I was too worried about her that I couldn't focus. That's a step away from a lot of things. Because I need to be able to pay attention to what my angels are guiding me to. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Chloe.
Well, I believe that too. I think that we've got to really pay attention to our guidance now. I'm getting I'm getting that it's going to be even more important than it ever was that we listen to our guides, that we find ways that we take our time, whether that be through. For me, it's often in the shower. When I get in the shower and the water seems to help me. When I'm in the shower, I get a lot of messages. So maybe I need to take more showers than, maybe I'll take 2 showers a day or something. But a lot of times it's at the quiet times and I'm not running anything, and it be still and know that I am God, right? I am God. Know that we are God. Know that you're God in the still times, in the quiet times. So leaving yourself quiet times is really going to be important so that you can hear and so that you can be the God self that you need to be at that time, and never forget that we don't have to be victims. We don't have to be we don't have to be afraid of what's going to happen. We don't have to be a part of somebody else's bad decisions. But yeah, we are seeing the beginning of the end. We're seeing it really start to collapse. I think by October, it's going to be very, very obvious what's going to happen. There still may be some surprises coming, but um, by October, it's going to be really wild. So, but yeah, we're going to see things fall flat. And I think our government is, a lot of people are beginning to say that now. They're beginning to say, um, maybe it needs to fall flat. Maybe people who we're run out of money, or the government's running out of money. People have to vote to give the government more money. Well, nobody wants to give Joe. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but a lot of people don't want to give Joe any more money to spend on their Ukraine. They're just going to let it go. They're going to vote no. Don't give the government any more money. Okay. So basically, what is that going to do? If a lot of people decide that they're just not going to fund any more of this madness, and if we could find private ways to defund the madness, that would be great too. I'd like to hear anybody's ideas about that. Some people are saying just don't pay your taxes, but just put on a whole bunch of spare people to catch you not paying your taxes that you're not even really legally supposed to pay. I mean, not it's really unconstitutional. I mean, this is why we threw a bunch of tea in the bay. Was you're not doing things the way you're not listening to us and uh, taxing us anyway, and not doing our will anyway. I mean, really, the way that this country was founded. If you look at what this country was founded on, it's like that was a bunch of rebels and rogues there saying, "Hell no, we're not going to do it your way. We're not going to do it. We're not going to pay your damn tax. We're not going to um we're not going to put up with your whims. We're not going to put up with your BS." Do they know that are they not caring because they know that we don't die? I don't know if that's why. Maybe it is, maybe not. But they sure do know that we fetch a nice price in the black market. They sure do know about adrenochrome, I'm sure. They sure do know about they sure do know about the energies released when people die and what that does and how that excites some beings, some negative beings actually live off of negative. There was a Star Trek, a classic Trek, and I'm talking about a classic Trek episode, the first one, about an entity that was constantly starting fights because it fed off of negative energy. And it's amazing. I'm going to have to watch some old Star Treks. And, if I can get my old computer fired up, we're going to have to watch some scenes together because honestly, it's going to explain. I have a feeling it's going to explain a lot of this stuff. But they were printing the money. Yeah, that's right. They were printing the money anyway. It wasn't even real money to begin with. But it's going in people's coffers, though, and the rich people's coffers. And the crime family's coffers. A beautiful 2 days of spring hurricane. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we need this to have people. I told you about how the people who are helping us, who are not human entities, okay, but they're people. The people who are trying to help with this, they are having trouble believing that people are still able to sleep through this. That the programming is this deep and this hard baked that people still that everybody in the world is still not awake. It's right in your face. It's so in your face. It's hard to believe that people can't see it, but they can't. It's like, and the hypnosis is that deep. And for some people, it's been hypnosis since the day they were born. As a matter of fact, for all of us, there's been a certain level of hypnosis since the day we were born, and maybe before that too. So it's not really. It's funny how things. This is another thing that's been happening, and I've noticed things have been falling out of existence and then popping back in. We're at some kind of a break point, and reality's getting very flaky, and it's going to keep doing that. And I'm getting that as a message. What we think of as reality is going to get very, very flaky. So don't be surprised if stuff disappears and returns and disappears, and it's this way one day and it's that way the next, and it goes flippity floppity like this. But generally, in general, we are on the positive. We're on a positive timeline. Okay, no matter how bad it looks, we're on the non-cataclysm timeline. So just bear that in mind. At least if you're here at this time listening to this show with me, we're on the non-cataclysmic timeline where it's not all going to go. The whole world is not going to go to hell in ashes, but it's going to look like it. It's going to look real bad. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. Boy, this is so hard. Let me tell you, this is so hard with the delay and everything. This is going to drive me up a wall. But anyway, I want to hear what Lady Spellbreaker has to say, and I'm going to go read your comments.
I'm reading the chat real quick. I just got lost for a second. That's good that Chloe says it shocked me that Lewis said I heard the child say hi. He woke up hearing a child. We've been talking about children. And I think that's good because Chloe, I used to always tell my daughter could see spirits. All of her life she could. And then before she crossed over, she could really see them and hear them. And she said, I would tell her, just like in The Sixth Sense, when you see that movie, and I know that's a movie, but I think it gives a good example of souls who haven't crossed over yet that are here to give us messages and help us from the spirit world. They haven't just like gone completely. They're earthbound, so to speak. And so they're here to assist and help. So if you ask them, who are you? And what do you need? Do you need my help with something? Then that will open the door better for assistance with it. I could say that better than I can type it all on the screen. Sorry, Chloe. But I think that's like some in the movie The Sixth Sense. Usually something happened to that soul, and they wanted to give a warning to the people that were left on the earth, so that there was some kind of closure and peace, and so those people wouldn't hurt somebody else. And that's really what I'm learning, the difference in my psychic mediumship development classes. That there's a difference between ghosts and spirits. Like spirit and even angels. Angels can come and even inhabit our body out of nowhere. I'm learning a whole lot in these psychic mediumship classes. And some spirits, like I truly don't think that my daughter's too far from me ever, because she takes over my radio. She takes over what I'm watching. My 2 videos just ended the other night. Dee, when you popped in, just randomly, I was live. My app crashed on my phone twice. And I said,
It's like David does too.
Yeah, I think my daughter was intervening because I had a troll in there that was, their name was BISHNIGGA. And like, I wouldn't even say that word. And one of my chatters was talking to him, Bish, and they probably didn't even know what Bish means because they live in Ireland, but they probably don't even know slang American terms over here. And I don't know. I think my daughter just ended the video to protect me. And I think that's how when you can't go live, D, don't ever think that it's anything bad. It's always protection. Always. And we don't see it from our spiritual point, from our human point most of the time. When those things are.
I think you probably.
Go ahead.
I think you're probably right. Gosh, this is hard. I think you're probably right. Really, I've been told, like, I'll be like, oh, damn, I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. And it's like, it's okay. Just roll with it. People are going to understand. They'll be back around the next time. Okay. They're going to understand. So if I'm not on at a typical time I'd be on, you know that there's some reason for that. Sometimes I think it's to throw off some of the trolls, some of the people that are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Um, as you can see, I'm having all kinds of issues with the channel, and I don't feel like it's everything that I've had happen. I just roll with it. I'm not getting terribly upset. I'm trying not to be. This is kind of driving me up the wall a little bit, having to have this delay and having to having to use earbuds to hear Lady Spellbreaker because something weird is going on with my phone. But I am going to complain to StreamYard about this. But this is it's going to be a time that's going to test us. And if you don't think you have a superpower, and Project Skyfall says if they want me to do something, I better get a power. You do have a power, and I don't know what it might be, but it might be. I never knew I had any power until I tried to do things. until I had to try to do things. So maybe project, if you've ever had an intention of doing anything or a feeling like you want to do something, like maybe you want to take up uh, maybe you want to try astral projecting, maybe you want to try lucid dreaming, maybe you want to try uh, the weather mitigation, maybe you want to try manifesting, maybe you want to try uh, whatever it is you want to try, whatever it is you get a ping that you really desire to have, give it a shot. I mean, you don't know. Most of the time, I didn't know I could bilocate. I didn't know I was bilocating. I mean, there were a lot of things that I was doing that I just didn't know that that was what I was doing until until it was like, oh my gosh, is that's what that was? You know, it was like I was bilocating all this time. I was channeling. I was, um, changing the weather patterns. Uh, I was embodying my angelic self. Uh, People even spoke of seeing the wings. You know, apparently, when I do a ceremony, my wings come out. I have wings that come out, and they look different to different people. But I literally, people see wings. So when I do a ceremony, I have wings. I believe I'm probably uh, I'm I'm not sure that we're all not like that. That we're not all, when these things happen, channeling somebody, some higher version of us, some deeper version, some larger, more powerful version of us. But there's no reason why you can't take some fractal of yourself that's got skills more than you do and use that, use their abilities. I have this theory that we can get in touch with the other fractals that have different abilities and use their abilities from time to time, borrow them. Maybe even keep them, because there's a guy that does what he calls quantum jumping, where he visits alternative timelines where he has the skill that he wants in this timeline, in this reality. And he's proven this before, that he can do this. He's come back with skills from that version of reality. So it's possible. There is, in any timeline anywhere. So I mean, for anybody anywhere, if you know that there's an infinite amount of yous living a life similar to your life, but with maybe different skills and talents, you can access their talents. And this guy figured out how to do it. He called it quantum jumping. Probably where the show Quantum Leaping came from. But you can find, and I forget his name, but you can find his videos on YouTube. But you can do this yourself too. You can just in your meditations go to a timeline where you've got an ability, and you can take it for yourself. And if you don't want to keep it, you don't have. I haven't kept every ability that I've borrowed, but actually, there's a few I'd like to borrow again, and maybe keep, that I should maybe go back and try and latch onto. But you can actually gain ability. So doesn't it sound like some kind of a video game? If you figure out how to go outside the video game, you can do this hack and get these skills that you have. But yeah, you can try that. I don't know. Gosh, this is making it another level of difficulty.
And we're like,
I'm going to put my earbuds back in and listen to Lady Spellbreaker now and read your comments.
it were like Super Mario. We could just jump off the ledge and get a new start over. We could just jump off the edge of the cliff and do, and then we get a start over. and start at the back at the beginning of the level and get another chance. I think we need to start with some EVPs. You went to the Life with Ghosts group and they were talking about EVPs in the group. You guys, if anybody's interested, can I post that? Do you care, D? The Afterlife Zoom meetings? I didn't go to the one Saturday because we went to the Broomcorn Festival. But there will be a
No, go right ahead.
Okay, there will be an EVP group.
Go right ahead. I also want to say EVPs, that's another thing. And this is, like I said, David is always giving me messages I can't always hear. Like I didn't know at the time what he was trying to say, but maybe it's for now. He did mention about he did a white noise album, right? And he brought that in a while back. I think I'm supposed to be using EVPs to talk with him now, but I'm going to have to learn again how to do that. I did that before when I had Audacity on my computer. I'm going to have to find the right app or whatever to use it on my phone. But I am going to start making EVPs and see what he's saying, because I think that's what he's trying to tell me, is that he wants me, because honestly, I every now and then I get the impression of him. I mean, he comes to visit a lot of times. I don't always hear him though. Sometimes I hear him faintly. Sometimes I see him. Sometimes I just feel him. He has this trick. There's a lot of times when I just want to lick my lips for just they feel, there's something on my lips. He says, one time when I could really hear him good, he said, you know, all those times when you want to lick your lips because you feel like something's on your lips, it's me on your lips giving you a kiss. I want you to know that I'm here when that happens. Uh, he's been very comforting, and he tells me that one of my abilities is transmutation, that I didn't even know that I had that. But I take things that are really awful and make them into something positive, make them into something useful, make them, I take lemons and make lemonade, basically, is one of my abilities. I take a bad thing, a thing that could be considered bad, and make it into something else. And I do that without even thinking about it. So somehow I have an ability to do that. So it may be something you don't even know you're doing or able to do, but it's your ability. And you need to think of it like that. I mean, there could be something that you never even thought of, but this is why you need to listen to your guidance and do your meditation and and don't forget to ask for guidance. And by the way, uh, later on, if you want me to do some clearings and stuff, let me know and I'll do some clearings, okay? Uh, to see if I can clear up any of the fog that's still remaining for people. If that helps. Okay, I'm going to go back to listening now. This is a challenge.
We're making it happen. We get to make it happen. I was going to say, why don't you do some clearings? I would, but I would like to. I'm probably not going to stay up here that much longer because I do have to work in the morning. I got a job and I got to be there at 9:00. So, that means I got to be on the bus at 8:00 in the morning. So, I was getting a message. Somebody told me to do automatic writing in a dream if I want to connect to my daughter. And I think it's coming automatically when I'm typing, when I'm things, I think she's flowing through me, no matter whether I'm writing on a paper or in the automatic writing book. Some of the psychic mediums in these groups are very, orderly. They're not nearly like they've probably never lived on the streets like I have, and I've been writing things on jeans my whole life. I've been writing on pants. I've been drawing all over my shoes. I've been writing on walls. I've been writing on notebooks. I've been writing on chicken scratch paper all over the place in my whole life. So it's like I think she's coming through me in if I'm chatting, if I'm channeling something, it could be on a community post that it's coming through. I don't think it has to be at a specific time every day. I actually found myself really strangely after the ayahuasca retreats. My family would come into the kitchen and I would be in what is called a malasana squat. It's a yogi squat, malasana squat, and I would have my phone it down, and I'm squatted all the way down, and it's like all this information from some other realm is coming out of my brain, out of my fingers, all over the screen, and I'm typing 1,000 words a minute really quick. And my daughter used to come in and say, what are you doing down there? Because I would just be squatted down in the weirdest places. And I don't know. I didn't even realize I was channeling until then. Yeah, see, and that some man told me in a dream after I quit smoking marijuana, my dreams started coming back very clearly. The marijuana turns our dreams off. You can go look it up. I don't care what anybody says. I can testify that my dreams and my visions are coming back more clearly because I do not take cannabis. And I've actually been doing psychedelic therapy with the mushrooms to turn everything back on because I was on so many pharmaceuticals, and after my daughter passed away, I was smoking so much weed because I was in shock. And now my dreams are coming back, and I don't know who the man in the dream was, but he told me if I want to connect deeply with Kayla, then I need to let automatic writing take place. And I've tried to do it where I'm just sitting at here saying, "Hey Kayla," and I'm talking to her, but answer doesn't come straight away. So I actually get up and go do something else, but the answers come through randomly. Does that happen for you? If I speak something out into the universe, the answers come through me, not when I want them to right now, but they'll come to me when I need them. Just like what you were saying earlier about we're going to have what we need. You're absolutely right. Everything we need is going to be provided as we need it. We don't need to hoard. We don't need to clutter. We don't need to prep
Yeah.
and be scared like that. Go ahead.
Well, I'm being told that a little prepping is not a bad thing. I mean, being not scared but prepared, just have batteries in your flashlights, have fresh batteries in your flashlights for when the power goes out because it probably will off and on. Make sure your phones are charged up. Make sure you have some kind of water, some kind of system for purifying water, just things like that. You don't have to go like nuts and be like a hoarder prepper or something. But I do have supplies stashed away at my place so that all they are going to need. Now, I didn't do the prepper thing and get the prepper kind of food and stuff, but I just have some foods that would be easy to make with just water. If I had to go out and make a make a fire and do it, if it and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't. But there may be somebody who's going to need this stuff if I don't. Um it's not a matter of I think we are going to be provided for, though. I really do. And I think it was a message like that. In fact, um, okay, I think I'm probably going to I probably going to try to do the automatic writing too. I am hearing you might want to try it with your left hand instead of your right. See if your left hand will write.
Ooh.
Maybe because your left hand is connected to your right brain. Your right brain is the intuitive side. So, because it's just the opposite. You know, your right brain controls your left side, your left brain controls your right side. So, left handed people are the only people in their right minds. But that's an old joke. But I'm ambidextrous. I was born ambidextrous, but taught to use my right, which probably made me more analytical. But I'm going to try using my left hand again and seeing if I can write with it once more if given a chance. And because that's your intuitive side. So that's one of the things I could say if you're having trouble getting anything from it, maybe you can do that. Oh, you have a life straw. Good. A life straw. I've got one of those too. I also have a really good pitcher that I got with a really good filter. So that's another thing I have. Uh, injuries amplifying gifts. That's another thing. A lot of us found at one point. I was on the psychic fair circuit for a while. A lot of us were getting injuries to our head, and after we got the injuries to the head, we got different gifts. So I'm not saying go out and injure your head, but I'm saying that sometimes the injuries, I don't know, activate something. And I don't quite entirely understand that, but that does seem to be true as well. Is that sometimes we'll get injured and that'll activate some kind of thing going on, and not just in the head, but in other parts of your body because it's all connected. So what? Okay, Cowboy wants to say something. What are you saying, baby? What? You just want love? You just want some love? Okay. I'm going to listen again now and read your comment. Once again, here we go.
Okay. I'm actually not gonna stay much longer because I'm yawning and I've got to get some sleep. I'm really not even sure how I'm gonna handle working around people because I'm not nearly as friendly as I once was. I don't have patience for
Okay, love.
idiocy. That's funny. Mary just said sumac
Oh,
activate.
I understand.
Goodness gracious.
You know what? It's like the notice. I mean, we've been on for 2 hours, and it doesn't even seem like it.
No, I
It
don't.
doesn't seem like hardly I've been on hardly any time, but it's been 2 hours already. So if you need to go, you go ahead and go, and love you very much and wish you all the best at work.
Love you all. Thank you so much. It was really I'm glad I caught you because I've kind of been laying low because there's just a lot going on in this world and I'm already
And tell
yeah,
me how it goes.
I will. I will. I'm working at the gas station for lunchtime, so it is what it is. I think it's gonna help me get a car. My papers for my
Mhm.
driver's license are already
Okay,
so
that's an interesting place to work.
yeah it is.
You'll meet a lot of interesting people. I worked at a gas station.
I think I'm gonna run into a lot
I
of
worked
people.
at a gas station for a while,
It's always good times.
and maybe some people that you really need to meet.
Yes, getting out of my house more and being out in the real world.
So in fact, I'm getting that you are. You're going to need You're going to be meeting somebody that you need to meet at the working at the gas station. Yeah. Okay. Much love. Go get 'em, Tiger.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Wow, that was hard. That was really hard. Um, well, they throw me a different kind of loop every time, but hey, I'm surmounting it all. I'm getting around it all. I'm not letting it get me down, you know. I ain't got no troubles in my life, no foolish dreams to make me cry. I'm never frightened or worried. I know I'll always get by. You know why? Because I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Keep the music in you too. Realize that you're put where you are for a reason. You're where you are for a reason. And if you need to be somewhere else, you'll get moved. So, and pay attention to the messages you're given. We're going to be given a lot of messages. We're going to be instructed in everything we need to do. And if you need some physical help, they'll bring you physical help too. Like I said, I just got a bunch of physical. Red grapes are my favorite. I got red grapes. I got the Dumas meat. I've been thinking I want some Dumas meat. I had a lovely pork chop dinner tonight with um, some beautiful beet greens and some lovely purslane that I grew myself, some watercress on my salad, some, I had a beautiful meal tonight. So it just, we're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I'm getting a headache right now, though. I got to say, I'm not ready to shut it down yet. I'm feeling actually very, uh, not feeling sleepy at all. Not one bit. It's weird. Because usually by now I'd be starting to feel it. I'm getting a little bit of a headache in my right eye. Okay. Losing their ever loving mind. You know what? That's true. I don't have enough tolerance for bullshit to go out and talk to some people. Uh, you know what, Chloe? You are important. And I didn't know either. I couldn't figure it out. Why the heck? Why the heck? Oh, wow. Project Skyfall had 3 concussions. No wonder. Project, it was probably necessary. Um, Chloe, it doesn't really matter whether you know what you're doing or not. Half the time, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. Hey, Michelle Canham Free. Hey, beautiful Michelle. We have all kinds of wonderful people coming in tonight. Oh, you're in Washington State. Oh, I see, Project. Right, right. Um, I'm going to try the automatic writing with my left hand. I'm going to try, I'm going to get, I just got an EMF meter. I need a 9-volt battery for it. I'm going to check out things. You know what? The last time we checked my place out with an EMF meter over by where I had my computer, the readings were off the charts. I mean, and somebody was saying, well, if you had that kind of a reading, you'd have hallucinations and this and that, and the other thing would be going on. I said, well, all kinds of supernatural things do happen in my place. So maybe it's accurate. But I'm going, but Paul took his hasn't been back with his EVP meter. We were just looking for electromagnetic to protect ourselves from electromagnetic stuff. We I didn't even stop to think that it would be checking for spiritual activity. But I'm going to check again and see what my place looks like with an EVP meter. I have one of my own now, and I need to get a battery for it. Not EVP, EMF meter. I'm going to get an EVP on my phone. I think there's apps for that. I need a white noise one. So David has already told me through, yeah, through talking about, see, he is in everything. Once again, I got to say, David's in everything. He's a part of every darn thing we're going through. Everything I research and everything, he's like, he's always there. He's always there, connected somehow. It's amazing. I don't know how he does that. How does he change? Oh, my place is near a ley line. I don't know if it's right on it, but I know it's near it because I can feel it. Um, uh, or is there a portal? Oh, of course there's a portal because I'm here. Open portals and close them all the time. It's part of my job. My family, apparently, part of our job in the universe is we work on a portal system. There is a system of portals, and we work on that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Um, I'm an interdimensional type. I'm an interdimensional type person in my other existences. Um, I I have a lot of things that I do, but it's very interesting. At one time, I could see my office. Things seem to come and go. It's like some of these gifts seem to come and go. I could see my office. It was all white. It changed in relationship to what it needed to be used for. And I had this thing on the back wall that looked like grape soda, a whole wall, fizzy grape soda looking thing. I think it was some kind of portal and some kind of transportation device, something like that. I worked at something like a library that you could call a library loosely. I had files coming through my office all the time. Um, it's very hard to describe because it's not earthly. You don't know anything like this here. Um, but I stopped being able to see that. I hear that a lot of people who have been taken on ships see something similar. So apparently, there's some kind of technology at work. Anyway, yeah, David, I am the one who told him, and this is so funny. I'm the one who said, David, don't you realize you're a mage? Don't you realize you're a shaman? Don't you realize you're magical? And then I heard him on an interview, not not right away, but later on, where he's on an interview and he says, well, apparently I'm some kind of shaman or mage or magical person. That was what I told him, what I had told him. He always was. And the people who knew him at a point after his death, when they were remembering him, they were sitting together talking about him, and they all agreed David was definitely a magical person. He had magic. There were things that he could do that he didn't even realize he was doing. I had to tell him. I'm the one who told him, David, you're doing magic. You're magical. But they all agreed. Yeah. You were talking about clearings, but I think my crown. Okay. I'm going to have to. Do you realize by the flaming lips? Yeah. Hope I stay here for a while. I think most of the people that are on my channel are here because you're um, scheduled to do something. You're signed up for something. I didn't do it. I didn't sign you up. You did. But I think that's the reason you're on my channel in the first place is because you were probably signed up for something. Oh, dream journals. Yes, Chloe, dream journals are very important. Mhm. Yeah, not Earth Home, etheric realm. And I got a really lovely place in the etheric realm where we go to dance and stuff. David and I and my friends, I have a nice etheric place um, that I built, that we built together. That we do go and rock out sometimes. Prince comes over. A lot of times, people will come in to see me in my meditations just to tell me that they've joined the group because it's like a group. It's like they've joined the club. In other words, what they're saying is they've joined the movement. There's a movement on the other side to help us over here. And Amanda Alice calls them the Heart Squad. But basically, they're spirits that are concerned about us back here and want to help us, and they gather to get stuff done from their end. Okay, so most recently, Karen Carpenter came in, so and Meatloaf has joined the club. So Meatloaf has joined the club. Karen Carpenter also, which I was surprised. I never heard from her before, but Karen Carpenter came through. So there are a lot of musical artists that are actually magical people. I mean, and their magic was in their music. And but over on the other side, they realize that, and it must have something to do with music. Because most of the people that I see coming in, they're identified with music in some way. They're connected with music. So whatever this is doing, it's somebody who remember music is a wave, and if you if you work with the waves, that's makes reality. I mean, the frequency makes the reality, makes the level of reality. I mean, you can go through frequency, you can go from very dire conditions all the way up to wonderful conditions for yourself and for others too. Sometimes I think you have to, looks to me like in order to do this, in order to find out, you almost have to have an open mind. Somebody else, almost a lot of times, has to tell you what you're actually doing. It's like a ping. It's like, oh my gosh, is that what I'm actually doing? Okay, I'm going to do some clearings. Um, Wait, let me read what I've got here. Yeah, somehow Project Skyfall, I think you've got a mission. You just don't know it yet. But you're doing it. You're probably doing it already without knowing it. Um, I got the music in me. That maybe Kiki D. Maybe Kiki D joined the club too. I don't know if she's alive or dead right now. Peter Gabriel. came wafting through. I'm not even sure if he alive or dead, Peter Gabriel. Because you know what? I I have found out that you can actually get messages from living people too. There's like a network of shamanic musician types that can communicate with each other. Yeah, Skyfalls is definitely here for a reason. Okay, let's see if we can break some blocks here. Block breaker. Okay, you know the routine. I'm going to say something to bring up. I'm going to ask a question just to bring up energy. You don't have to answer the first question. But then after I bring that energy up, boy, my throat chakra's trying to clear. Hang on. I'm getting ready. Hang on. I think I'm going to be doing some. Okay. I'm going to need. Okay. Get ready. I think I'm going to be doing some voice stuff. Okay. Open all the break the blocks, open the passageways, open up our chakras, unblock our chakras. Okay, first question I ask. What attitudes, opinions, or judgments do we have that there are things that we just can't do? That okay, that there are things that we just can't do no matter how hard we try. And that's not true. Okay, but that's one that I'm getting. Okay. Then the second thing is when I ask you, would you be willing to clear it? If you say in the affirmative, we will clear that. Okay, what attitudes, opinions, judgments do we have that there are things we just can't do no matter how hard we try? It's never gonna happen. Okay, let's clear that. Are you ready? Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy all that? Okay, times a godzillion, times a godzillion. I now uncreate and destroy all that. Good and bad, right and wrong, talking about all nine short stories and beyonds. Oh, that was strong. Okay, that was very strong. Okay, here we go. Some star language to unblock. There may be some toning too. I don't know, because some things are going on with my throat. I won't be able to see your comments for a while. I'll be somewhere else. I'll be stepping back and letting this just roll. Okay. A photo deal. Ataka. Kochiga pateka. And Kobanadiga Sgoda Itaka Paduka Samantiga. Pariros Munaburies both go to Sibara. Gira ad all Bokotoko. A fariga, want to go down this Siberia. Ika, a Burgos of Maria, get but school Maria to get money, get a area of Nokia. Arako Maria get a minute to get a manikika. Escaro, you got to yung brigaderia ay may kohon di kira kara isba iras ka ba di kira di ka ba ni ni di di ka pare ya mo di brigas ka pare di ka kira ore pare di kira di kira ni ni di pa wala yung po maro ba ro shoro bre di ko mani ya mari di ro chi bre ni ni kira ni mani kira ya pare kara ay pare ara por war skoro ay ka skoro goro ya skoro goro kara kara do ari kara kara goro do Corvari scarvariga, pura, pura, ia pararia, ai, avraria cedam. Ora, idia, avraria si the bin. Atuka, what atuka. Now is a canapa. Oh, holy moly, what was that? Oh, that sounded very, 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 oh, that was intense. Oh, tokamania. Oh, tokamania. What the heck does that mean? I don't know what that means. Whatever it means, it was helping clear something. Okay. Um, wow. That was, I think, the most forceful I've seen, I've felt in a while. Something very forceful, and it felt like something was being cast off or cast away or driven away or driven out or something. Okay, is what that felt like. Anybody else get a feeling off of that? Oh wow! Did I knock out the electronics accidentally? Ah, oh, really? A man spoke some kind of light language and then insisted you take 200. That's wonderful, Michelle. See? Isn't that lovely? It's like we're being given gifts to let us know that we're going to be taken care of. Yeah, it felt like a smackdown, didn't it? It did. It felt like she was going, whoa, like, yes, a casting off. Wow. Yeah, I'm still feeling the energy of it. Otoko, otoko. Sasa, anto kepada Cikopo untuk ya, kudaka, si, koto, ma. Apparently they're not done. Maha! That was, okay. All kinds of energy going on here, I can see. Jeez, what did she do? Okay, yeah, okay. Itoko. Don't know what that means, but I'd say if you want something to go, that maybe is something you say if you want something to go. Maha. I wonder if that is any known language. Some of it that I say, I look it up, I see if it corresponds to anything. Some of it corresponds to Greek Latin. Photidia is Greek Latin, could be a translation saying good day or something like that, or something in the realm of good greeting. But Otoko and Maha, I got to remember that. Well, I got it on recorded here. So she keeps saying that. That must mean something, whether it's in any language that ever hit Earth, because I really think Greek Latin may not be originally an Earth Latin. I mean, an Earth language. Maybe that language actually came from somewhere else. But Otoko, that feels like that's getting rid of something. And Maha, Maha. and Mahia, Mahia. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I really think some languages are probably descended from much older languages. Maybe that's why it kind of sounds like that. But Fotadia would make sense if it's a greeting that it would be something along the lines of good day or light it light of day, something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna have to look it up. You know what? It's strange though that actually some of it does bear a resemblance to some human languages and makes some kind of sense. I know that's not generally something that you hear. I just wanted to see if I could find anything, any way to make it make sense in humans' tongue. You know, uh, just wondered. So some of it sounds like that, and actually would make sense if it was, but some of it, I have no idea where it comes from. Hey, B, A B, eh? Elvish. I wonder about that too. Yeah, I've known people who can speak Elvish. Norwegian bent, huh? Oh, Chloe is translating. Yes, you, I'm talking to you, clear leave. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there are people who know these languages. Atlantia. Atalantia. Yeah, that would be Atlantis. Atlan. Me too. I kind of resonate with the elves and the fairies. Cool. B. Freeman. Yes, that happens sometimes. Okay. So maybe we're a lot more powerful than we think. Maybe we need to use this. If you feel you can do that kind of thing, ask for it and ask for the knowledge of what to do. Because I mean, you don't want to go around using it willy nilly. You want to do the right thing. You always got to ask. I always ask for for the good, please, for the good and the divine plan, the divine good plan. You know that's not. I don't want to upset. Here's the thing. I think sometimes though I've known people who are too scared to do anything because they were afraid that, they were going to upset some divine plan. And it's like, I don't think we were given these abilities to not use them. Okay. I think we were given these abilities because we would need to use them at some point. So I don't see anything wrong with it myself, but each to their own. But we've got to learn to do things. I mean, again, I mean, at one time we knew how to do all this. The the bust of the woman that I showed you, she looked very Tartarian. I believe that Tartaria, what we're calling Tartaria, was Atlantis. It is Atlantis. That is Atlantis. That's what the Atlanteans look like. That's their kind of building. Anybody else think so? Who's for thinking that probably what we're calling Tartaria, it was Atlantis? Because remember, uh, Tartaria, what we're calling Tartaria, was a worldwide culture. Right. Father or creator gave us the gifts. Right, Lewis. The we're created with these gifts. It's so that we can use them. Yes. Yeah. I think Tartaria and Atlantis is the same place. That is why the sculpture is so beautiful and perfect, and why the buildings are in at such a perfect angles. And I think that's what we were seeing was Atlantis. What it was worldwide culture. It wasn't just one little spot. The Eye of the Sahara is where they say probably the main capital was, but that was just the capital. Atlantis was a worldwide culture, and um, now that would then make sense why we're so drawn to it, why we feel so at home. I mean, to me, I look at the Tartarian architecture and I think, wow, that looks like a place I'd live. You know, I would want it to look like that. It was so beautiful. The stuff we make these days is boxy and kind of ugly, actually. No matter how beautiful they try to make it, it's all just a bunch of boxes. The old Indian temples that are left in India and whatever there is left of what was going on in the Tartarian times is so beautiful compared to what we do now. It it makes me so sad that they demolish them all. And it may be, yeah, that the elves are actually Atlantis. Yeah, maybe that's where the elves also come in. The elves and fairy folk might have been a part of that. Well, they'd have to be because they're so old. Yeah, and a lot of us escaped to Egypt. That's how that happened. That's how Egypt went from 0 to 100 so fast. Why the culture changed so fast. A lot of us escaped to Atlantis. Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of us were mer people for a while in Lemuria. Um, do you know they still exist? And they're not the way people think. It, they're around 10 foot tall, 8 to 10 feet tall, long, whatever you want to call them. They're huge. When people see them, they don't see them our size. They see them like 10 foot tall, which tells me probably probably they are older than us because the species that are older than us all seem to be taller as well. Well, you know what? What if the same, I kind of have a sense that the same souls, this is like the final showdown, um, the same spirits, souls, whatever you want to call it, are trying to do the same shenanigans they did last time. And they're trying to crash everything. They're trying to crash the whole damn world so that they can dominate it. It's not going to work. Not this time. The site map. Yeah, I've seen that map. Nothing new under the sun, a part of original Grayson versions I've seen. Well, they lasted for thousands of years, you know. Atlantis existed for thousands of years. And it looks like we've had more than just one worldwide advanced civilization. So, you know, Atlantis and Lemuria are not the only places. I mean, not the only names. Uh oh. Kadama. Aya kapata ita kapata. I don't know why she's not saying it loud. She's whispering. Hmm. Some reason it's very soft. Okay. I don't know. Well, she knows what she's doing. I think I was too. Project. I think it was a mermaid. But you know what? There are some places around Sirius, and there are some little planets that where we are merfolk, where we spend most of our time in the water, and um, that's the is that the Mintonkans? Now you know what? This I got to ask you. Other than just recently, has anybody ever heard of Mintonkans? Because the Mintonkans have been coming up as a species, as an interstellar race. And I swear, I never heard of them except in the last 2 or 3 years. Did anybody ever hear of them before that? Apparently, they're major players. You know what? Honestly, we've got to stand up to people. Um, and I don't think that's bad. No, they're Mintonkans. Montanans may be something else, but the Mintonkans are supposedly a stellar civilization. The Lemurians were pure beings. Yeah, they were first, then Atlantis. Um, but Mintonkans, I haven't heard of them except the last few years. That would make sense. Mary wins. Ashgard, Ashgard, Eden, Lemuria, Atlantis. Okay. Well, if you can get a hold of that map and send it to me, because I don't have a copy of it. And I think I came by that. I remember somebody came up with that, and I don't remember in what video, but if you have access to it, I would love to see it. I know Minnetonkan sounds like a Indian. It sounds like Tatanka. Minnetonka. Minnetonka is Indian. But the Mintonkans are the star people. Now, who's to say that they're not related? Thank you, dear. I'm going to use this to find it. Okay, I'm going to keep this, subscribe, and save it to watch later. Okay, and then go back. Okay, I've got it saved. Hopefully, I will be able to find it. Um, well, yeah, the Hopi, they say they're from the stars. So, I mean, there are people around the world that say they know they're from the stars. I think my soul's been around a lot. I think I've been around, I've been everywhere. Because it seems to me, well, I guess that would make sense if my family works on the portals, that I'd be everywhere. Because it seems to me like I've been everywhere. Like I've been around, It's like I'm pretty old and I've been around, and I uh am not necessarily the place that I come from is like one step before being non-corporeal. I mean, we're like one step from just not having bodies, not bothering with bodies anymore. And I think I also exist in a place where we don't bother with bodies. But I do very much remember a place where we have beautiful crystal clear waters, and we swim with dolphins and cetaceans all the time, dolphins and whales. And that's most of beautiful. Okay, does anybody remember the beautiful purple mountains, the kind of lavender skies with the beautiful auroras going on in the skies, and then the waters are crystalline and beautiful, and we spend a lot of time playing with the cetaceans, and who we know that we're kin to, and everything. It's basically a very utopian kind of a place. There really isn't a whole lot of danger there. It's really a wonderful place, and I kind of miss it. But that I remember that place very clearly. We spent a lot of time there, and David and I both. Um, I've got a picture, and I did not know this at the time. I had drawn a picture. I decided I was going to draw him a man, right? A male. And I drew a picture, and when I looked at it again later, it looked like David. I don't know why, but it looked like David. And when I looked at it again, it was blonde and it looked like David. And I'm there like, oh, geez, I drew David without even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking of him at the time. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us lived through the Orion Wars too, which may be partly why yeah, Sirius B. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Sirius B has a lot of life. A lot of us come from that area. The Orion Wars, a lot of us were involved in the Lyran Wars. A lot of us spent time on Lyra. I think I did. I have such deep connections with the Lyrans. That's why I've always got a Lyran assistant with me, right, cowboy? Always have a Lyran companion with me. Yes, and when I don't have one, I feel I'm really missing something. Yeah, we've been allies many times, right? We've had some lives together, haven't we? I know. Yeah. Yeah, really? Yeah, Lewis seems to come from a place that's more like bears, where the life forms are more like bears. Yeah, that's that's one of the places I see. Yeah, Luna Cowboy and Boomer. Uh, Maui, my girl, such a sweet being, but she had a hard life here. Maui, and I'm not talking, and it's weird that it's Maui that got attacked because that's what I named my cat. My Lyran, my other Lyran assistant that passed on was Maui, and she still gets in touch. She's such a sweet girl, but a warrior, very tough. Mhm. Yeah, cream colored grizzly bear. Mhm. You don't know about the place I'm talking about? I don't meet very many of us. Usually, I meet a group of us at a time, though. Usually, after we do a raid and free some people, then I meet like a group at a time of people who come from there. But I think something happened there. I'm not even sure it still exists, but I think it does. I think some of these places were blown away. Remember, we have some wars that blew away planets. I mean, the Lyrans lost their planet. Um, Maui was a no. Maui was a Aegean. The tuxedo was a neighbor's cat. Yeah, we're warriors, uh, and yet peacemakers. Well, there is a thing called the peaceful warrior. They, that's a whole nother program. The Way of the Peaceful Warrior was a book too. Oh, that's beautiful. Sounds beautiful, Lewis. Um, you know, I find that I had my ex-spouse had eyes that were brown but would turn gold. But when it was dangerous is when they'd turn yellow. When they would turn yellow, that was dangerous. But yeah, his brown eyes would turn gold a lot of times, like tiger eye. Tiger eyes like that. You turn it and it looks brown and it looks gold. the chatoyancy. Mine turn sort of blue to green, can get sometimes kind of gray looking, not too often. Um, Mostly blue and green. Mine vary between blue and green. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. I I've known several people that their eyes turn golden from brown to golden. But then again, that's me. I've known a lot of people and I've known a lot of people that are not normal people. So let's see. The shift, yeah. It's like we're shifting somewhere, like we're shifting a bit when that happens. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Um, Blue and a bit greenish. Well, that's pretty good for a Freeman. Freeman. Dune, dune, dune. Rakus, rakus, rakus. Dune, dune, dune. Rakus, rakus. Yeah. Um, then for a long time, my eyes, when people would take a picture of me, I always had red eye or gold, or they'd glow gold. You know how you get the red eye. Sometimes I would have gold eye, but it was usually really intense. My eyes glowed very fiercely to to make some of my pictures look pretty scary. Actually, I don't have those pictures anymore. My pictures have been lost in a. Most of my photographs have been lost in floods and moves and thefts, and I've had a lot of things thieved from me. This is the first place I've been where my stuff has been saved, where I don't feel like I have to hide everything. In my old place, I kept most of my stuff hidden so that people wouldn't steal it. I spent way too long there. She has another one. Wait for it. Who has another one? Okay. Trying to keep up with chat. Well, for years, I asked myself, how the heck could I be important enough that anybody would be interfering with me? How the heck could it possibly me? I'm not a millionaire or anything, right? I'm not one of the elites. I wasn't born with a silver spoon or anything. But then I realized that's, that's not necessarily any indicator. Some of us are here to kind of go undercover. Some of us are kind of here undercover. So there it is. But yeah, I used to have pictures of me that was like where I was looking and I was looking straight into the camera, and of course that's when you get the red eye and the gold eye, and I have somewhere where my eyes are really glowing in a scary sort of way, which I kind of miss having those pictures because they were kind of fun to look at. It's like, show them to people at Halloween. You want to see something scary? But yeah, so back at that time, but that was a different time. I don't know that still happens. Whatever happened to Scratch? I don't hardly see Scratch. I don't know. I don't see him much anymore. I've seen him once once in a while, once in a great while. I'll see him somewhere, but almost never anymore. Oh, you actually just found a pic of you with her. I wish I still had some pictures, some of my pictures. I had some great pictures of me. I wish I had them back. Um, I don't have very many pictures of myself. Oh, really? You had a spirit called Scratch? Scratch is actually a nickname for the devil. I don't know if you know that. That was one of the names for the devil, Old Scratch. But which is maybe why, I don't know, maybe why he took that name. Don't know. Yeah, I feel like Scratch is still alive and still kicking, just not around very much. Just not coming online very much. You know what? For a long time, I was undercover, even to myself. I didn't know who I was. And then I was told later that the reason I didn't know is so that they wouldn't know. I mean, the people that I was having to keep things from, if it was in my mind, they would have found out. So it was kept even away, a secret, even from me, what I was doing here for a long time. Ow! Are you talking to me, mister? Oh, what about you? You always knew, huh? You wondered why I was taking so long to come claim you? Well, I couldn't very well claim you while you were with another mommy. I'm sorry all that happened to you, cowboy. She didn't know what to do. She never had a kitty before. She didn't know how to take care of you right. He's so happy here. He's he loves his life now. Find out at a party the spirit from way back is allegedly his devil. uh, yeah. Um, well, you know what? A lot of us came back here with spirits attached to us. Some of us came back with demons attached. Ow! See, he's saying it again. And mine was a vampire. I've mentioned this before. Mine was a vampire. Thing was is that I won the vampire over instead of the vampire winning me over. The vampire capitulated back in 2012. Oh, you want to know if Annabelle? I don't have my pendulum right now, Louis. I can't do it. I don't have it. I don't see it anywhere. I had taken my stuff. Let's see. Do I have anything like that? I'm looking to see if I have anything I can. Okay, I found something. It's actually Gemini's pendulum that I need to send to her. Okay, let's test it. Let's calibrate it. Okay, show me yes. Okay, it's fine. Okay, stop. Show me no. Okay, my little cowboy is a nice little dog. No. Okay. Louis Ta is Mongolian. Oh, seems to think you're part Mongolian, Louis. See, that was a trick question. No, seriously. I don't know what brought that up. Um, I don't know where that came from. That really was left field. Okay. Let's see. The Earth is flat. Pendulum doesn't seem to think the Earth is really flat. Okay, but I do think that there are other continents that we're not seeing, other places we're not seeing. Okay, let's just go for it and see what it says, and I will not be held responsible. Does Annabelle have anything to do with the voice Louis was hearing? Pendulum seems to think so, yes. Yes. Who's Annabelle? She's not a doll. She's not the possessed doll spirit, is she? Oh, gee, that would be horrible. Am I a fairy? Okay. I'm going to test it a little more because it's acting a little hinky. It's telling me no about something now, but I haven't asked it anything yet. Maybe it's not acting hinky. Maybe it's just, okay. Maybe I'm not asking the right questions. Now it's saying yes. Okay. So maybe I'm not asking it the right way anyway. Uh, is Skyfall a fairy? Yeah. And Cowboy thinks so too. Did you hear that? Meow. Cowboy thinks you were. Thinks you're a fairy. Hmm. And apparently, so am I. Could we be multi-dimensional several things at once? What? Let me see that pendulum. It's not going to have kitty energy all over it. He's finding that pendulum irresistible. Yeah. Yeah, I got messages from the fairies too. They love me apparently. They welcomed me at my first place there over in the old place. Yeah. Well, I did get a message that yes, the fairies and the fae and the magical beings are with me. They have respect for me. I've got their respect, and they have mine as well. So I did get that message that what we do here on this channel is that they respect it. Yeah, he thinks the pendulum makes a lovely toy. Hmm. Yes, he says you brought that out so I could play with it, didn't you, Mom? Look at this guy. Here's your fans. Let's see if I can get the camera on him. Here's your fans, Mr. Cowboy. See? There you go. Posing, you poser. Ah, he's posing to be petted. Yeah, he is wanting to be. He is wanting to be petted and loved, and he's saying, "It's about time to cuddle up, Mom. About time to cuddle up and go to sleep. What do you need down? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, sweetie. I'll put this over here. Does that help? You need to go? What? What? Meow. What? He's so sweet. Got such a sweet little voice. Isn't that a sweet little kitty cat voice? Meow. Light orbs. Interesting. Yeah, cowboy visits people. Does cowboy visit you? You're not the only one. Yeah, Sasquatch in my dreams, mostly Lyrans, yeah. Oh, cowboy's having one of his finest lives now. He's having a very happy life now. He's with a woman who loves him, feeds him, babies the heck out of him. I got to show you these. I got these recently. Of course, it's a team new purchase. Oh my goodness. These are amethysts on a string, on a string of LED lights. And every time I turn them on, I feel like, ah, this energy radiates off of them, you know? Wow. It's a string of amethyst with LED. I think they're beautiful. I'm so glad I got them. The ghost cat. He's a cuddly little guy. Yeah, and I get mine speak once in a while from the Sasquatch, the friendly Sasquatch. It doesn't look purple on the. Yeah, somehow it doesn't really look purple, does it? But they're very light purple. They're not a dark purple. They're like a lavender. They're like a lavender purple. So maybe it's just that They're so light that the camera's not really picking it up much. You know. But yeah, they're mostly, I'd have to say that they're just barely amethyst. See, clear quartz and amethyst are the same. It's just slightly different chemical composition. I got a question. Why have I gone from looking purpley to looking orange? The light's the same. Didn't I look all purple before? What the heck is going on? I did. Now I'm red. Is anybody else seeing this? What's going on? Does this look? What color do I appear to be to you guys? Is this my eyes? The camera? What's going on? Wasn't I kind of purpley pink before? Now I look like I'm red orange to me. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I look pink to you? Oh, this is weird. Okay, well, sure weird. Let me tell you. Yeah, to me, I look, maybe it's SpongeBob? Sort of an orange pink now, yeah. I think I looked more purple pink before. Huh, something's going on. Well, interesting. Orange is orange red are the base and sacral chakras. Then pink is high heart, sort of a magenta is high heart. There are new there oh I was supposed to tell you if you hadn't heard yet, we have some new chakras being installed. Um supposedly. Uh, there's going to be a new one in our head, behind the pineal gland. There's one that they've been working on. I know they've been working on because I've been feeling it. It's between the heart and the throat. It's like the high heart is going to go from being just a high heart one to its own. We've been growing that for a while, I feel. And then there's going to be another one between the sacroplex and the solar plex. Is that it? Well, anyway, there's going to be a third one, three new chakras. We're getting three new chakras. Yeah, ever since I turned on the lights, seems like it changed. Green is the heart chakra, magenta's high heart. And then there's a chakra they've been working on that is a connection between the heart and the throat, um, which has been a tube, but I think that one might be the one. I'm not sure about that. I may have to wait and see. But apparently there's one in that area that's going to be added. Oh yeah, colors have frequency. Oh, you're uncomfortable in your body. I'm sorry to hear that. I know I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to need to rest soon, get off and rest. Oh man, we've been on over 3 hours. Where did it go? Oh, and we're going to have more than 12. 7 is just the ones inside our body. We actually have 12. Some of them are outside of our body. We have had 12. But we're getting new ones. So we're going to have more than 12 now. Main ones. And those are just main ones because we actually have 144 chakra points. That'll probably change too. That number will probably change too. But yes, we actually have 144 chakra points, which once again, you got to understand these things to understand what the 144 is, right? The 144. You have 144 chakra points. Okay. Chloe, I get restless leg. I get that too. And I can't stay still. I'm lying in bed, I'm resting, but I can't really stay still. Yeah, I get that from time to time. Well, you guys, Cowboy's right. It's late. I don't have to get up early. There are some things I have to take care of tomorrow. I have a lot of calls to make. So I'm going to sign off. But let's give Chloe a healing. Let's give everybody a healing, in fact. Let's give Chloe and requesting healing for all of us. Everybody who needs a healing. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, what I want you to do is imagine the energy from your heart going to those different areas. And I also want you, when you lie down and get quiet enough, to just ask for healing. And I'm asking that people get the REM sleep that they need so that they can be worked on. The healing teams need us to get to REM sleep. That's why they're trying to keep us awake. That's why they're trying to keep us on edge all the time, is so we can't get as far as REM sleep. But if we can get as far as REM sleep, we can be etherically worked on and healed. So see what you can do about that. Get yourself that far, and then you can have healing sessions. I'm better than I was. I'm certainly better right now than I was. I hope it stays that way. You guys, I'm going to have to. Um, I'm going to have to sign off. If you guys want some, okay. Heart is the area that needs it most. Okay. I'm probably going to get called away then. to start working on this stuff. That's one of the things I will ask for, because I can feel myself getting called. I gotta go. It is time to go. Good night. Love you all. See you next time. Should be Monday or Wednesday, but I'm not sure. Green. Sky falls. Wear green, eat green vegetables, think green, and magenta. Okay. Love you all. Remember you're divine. Remember to ask for help. Remember to send your angels out. Remember to send your angels out to do stuff. You don't want them being bored. Okay. Don't let the dust settle on their wings. Thanks for coming tonight. You're all special people. Please recognize how special you are. Good night.